Hi guys, my name is Tokir Ahmed. I cordially welcome all of you on my YouTube channel Paramount Academy for English Language. My not student, in my last video I told you about adjective phrase. Today we are going to learn about a very interesting and very important topic, and that is again phrase, but that is a different one which we call gerund phrase. Gerund phrase. Okay, in my last video I have told you in detail that what do we mean by phrase. I told you that phrase is a group of related word, clear, without subject verb combination. It gives you meaning but not the complete sense. It is a part of a complete sentence. Now, in order to understand that what is a gerund phrase, it is very much important and vital to know that what is a gerund itself. Let me explain that gerund is also called verbal noun in English. Verbal noun. Now, what is verbal noun or what is a gerund? Gerund is actually nothing but a progressive form of verb, means V1 plus ing. First form of verb plus ing. For example, sleep plus ing, sleeping. Okay? Gerund is nothing, absolutely and entirely nothing, but progressive form, ing form of a verb. Clear? As I have told you, sleep, sleeping. But it does the function of a noun in a sentence. V1 plus ing, but it does the function of a noun in a sentence. Let me cite an example for your understanding. For example, smoking is injurious. Now, in this sentence, is injurious, you can find out your gerund simply by asking the question of what. Clear? You can find out your gerund phrase or gerund simply by asking the question from verb that is injurious. What is injurious? Smoking. Here smoking is, as you can see, that nothing is happening. The word smoking indicates that nothing is happening. Smoking is injurious. No action is being performed over here, but we are talking about something. And you know that always your noun is something or someone in a sentence. Is injurious? What is injurious? Smoking. Here smoking is functioning or working as a noun because we are talking about a subject and your subject is always a noun or pronoun in a sentence. Here in this sentence, smoking is functioning as a noun in a sentence. So your gerund or verbal noun. Why is it called verbal noun? Because it looks like a verb but it functions as a noun. Your gerund, it looks like a verb, V1 plus ing, but it doesn't do the function of a verb in a sentence. It does the function of a noun in a sentence. And you know that your noun could be the subject or the object of a sentence, and we are going to learn about it later. So here is injurious. What is injurious? As I told you earlier that you can simply find out or you can locate or spot out your gerund by asking a question what. So what is injurious? Smoking. Here smoking is functioning as a gerund. Smoke, smoking, V1 plus ing, but it is functioning as a noun. Why is it so? Because here it goes back that we are talking about subject. Clear? In my other video, I told you that subject is something or someone, clear, doing the action, and the second definition of subject is that something or someone we talk about. Here we are talking about smoking, that smoking is injurious. So that was a brief intro of gerund. Let me proceed to the gerund phrase. As I told you that phrase is a group of related word, clear, but it also functions is a single part of speech. Clear? Gerund phrase is a group of word that does the function of, clear, a gerund in a sentence. Now, gerund phrase is group of related words, and it functions as a noun in a sentence. Let me cite an example. I like. I like writing novel. Now look, I is your subject, like is your verb. I like. What do you like? I like writing novel. If I stop over here, I like writing. Here, writing is not working as a verb. It is working as something or someone. Here, it is working as something. I like. What do you like? What? What do you like? Writing. If I put full stop over here, here writing is your gerund. But it is a combination or a group of related words. So here, I like what? Writing novel. That is your gerund phrase. Clear? That is your gerund phrase. Okay. Thinking about my future, clear, disturbs me. Now here gerund phrase is what? In this first example, gerund phrase is functioning as an object in a sentence. I like what? Here I have given you an example, thinking about disturbs me. What does disturb you? Clear? Thinking about my future. I shall be telling you later when we proceed. Clear that your gerund phrase functions or works as a subject of the sentence. It works as an object of the sentence. It works as object of preposition. It works as a direct object of a verb. It functions as a subject complement, etc. So here your gerund phrase is working as a subject of the sentence. Clear? If you ask a question of what does disturb you, answer would be thinking about my future. Thinking about my future disturbs me. So if you ask a question, if you put a question of what, clear, and you find the answer, that is your gerund phrase or that is your gerund. If a group of words, gerund phrase. If a single word, gerund. Thinking about future disturbs me. What does disturb you? Thinking about my future. I hope that you people are getting me. Now let me proceed. Different functions of gerund phrase in a sentence. As I told you that gerund phrase does different function in a sentence. Your gerund phrase does the function of a subject in a sentence. Number one, it does the function of subject. It does the function of object of the sentence. It does the function of, and it could be the direct object of the verb, direct object of verb, and it could be the object of preposition as well. Object of preposition. It also functions as subject complement in a sentence. I shall be telling you about what is subject complement. So these are different functions that a gerund phrase does in a sentence. First of all, I shall be telling you how a gerund phrase works as a subject in a sentence. Let me cite an example for your understanding. Asking questions, clear, sharpens your understanding. Okay, here I shall be giving clear example of how your gerund phrase does the function of a subject in a sentence. As I told you that in order to find out gerund phrase or gerund, you will have to put the question of what. Look, sharpens your understanding. What does sharpen your understanding? Clear? Or what does sharpen my understanding? Asking question. Clear? As I told you, your gerund phrase is a combination of subject, Clear? As you sorry, gerund, clear, object, and sometime modifier. Sometime other modifiers. We find other modifiers. Clear? Gerund phrase is a combination of gerund, object, and sometimes other modifiers as well. Here, what does sharpen? What does sharpen your understanding? Asking question, gerund, object. So here it is functioning as a subject of the sentence. Here your gerund phrase is functioning as the subject of the sentence. Let me give you another example. That is thinking about my future disturbs me. The example that I have already given. Now here it is functioning as a subject of the sentence. Clear? But there is difference, I am telling you. Now, what disturbs you? Thinking about my future. Here, your gerund phrase is functioning as a subject of the sentence. Your look, thinking, V1 plus ing, it is functioning as a subject. The whole gerund phrase is functioning as the subject of the sentence. Thinking, this is V1 plus ing. This is your prepositional phrase about my future. This is your prepositional phrase. As I told you that your gerund phrase is a combination of gerund, okay, object, or sometime other modifiers. About my future, this is a prepositional phrase. It is modifying your clear gerund. So here, disturbs me. What does disturb you? Thinking about my future disturbs me. So I have tried to make clear the concept of gerund phrase working as a subject in a sentence. Clear? Gerund, object. Gerund, prepositional phrase, or we can say in other words, it's a modifier. Prepositional phrase or a modifier, modifying your gerund. Clear? So here I have tried to make clear the concept of gerund phrase working as a subject in a sentence. Let me proceed that how a gerund phrase works is as an object of a sentence. Clear? Let me tell you an example. It's very easy to find out. Yes, I love talking about my relatives. I love talking about my profession. Okay, here you can see that I subject, love, verb. You know that your object is always something or someone that receives the action you talk about. Okay, so I love. What does you love? Clear? Or what do you love? I love talking about my profession. Here V1 plus ing. This is again your prepositional phrase functioning as a modifier of the gerund. Clear? I love. What do you love? Clear? What is the recipient of your love? Receiver of your love? What or who? Clear? Talking about my profession. Talking about my profession is working as an object of the verb that is called love. As I told you that your gerund phrase functions as a direct object. This is a direct object because it is the receiver of the action. Clear? Your gerund phrase works as a direct object of the verb. Clear? So this love is your verb and this talking about my profession is a gerund phrase and it is functioning or working, clear, as an object of direct, clear, object of the verb. Let me cite an example. Clear? My mother loves sitting in open. Clear? Here look. My mother loves what? What does my mother love? Sitting in open. Clear? My mother loves sitting in open. So here V1 plus ing, functioning is a gerund, clear? In open, that is your prepositional phrase. In open, you know that your preposition phrase, clear, is the combination of preposition and sometime object of the preposition. So this is another example. John is planning about, clear, John is planning about changing or starting his business. Here I shall be telling you that gerund phrase working as an object of preposition. About is your preposition over here. Clear? John is planning what is, clear, being planned by John. John is planning about, look, about what? Changing or starting his business. V1 plus ing. V1 plus ing. So V1 plus ing, gerund. And this is object. Starting what? His business. As I told you at the outset of my lecture that your gerund phrase could be the object of preposition. Here, this starting his business is functioning is the object of your preposition, that is about. Clear? So gerund phrase, clear, could or gerund phrase sometimes plays the function of object of a preposition, as you can see or you can understand by looking at this example I have cited on the white board. Now we are left with the third one, that how the last example was of how a gerund phrase could be an object of preposition, about is preposition. We are left with the last one, and that is how your gerund phrase functions is a subject complement. First of all, let me tell you that what is the subject complement. Subject complement is something or someone that completes the other. Subject complement is a word or a group of words that renames or modifies your subject. If it renames, clear, that is called predicate nominative. If that modifies your subject, that is called predicate adjective. That is another topic I shall be talking about in other video. So your gerund phrase functioning is we can call as a subject complement of the sentence. Now let me tell you, his hobby is clear, helping others. Full stop. Okay. His hobby is, what is his hobby? Helping others. Clear? Now here, his hobby is, what is his hobby? Helping others. Helping others is his hobby. Clear? Both the things are same. If I say that helping others is his hobby, it makes sense. If I say his hobby is helping others, clear? Both are same. Clear? It goes back to hobby. Helping other is his hobby. Here, your gerund phrase helping other is renaming your subject. It is renaming your subject. When a group of words renames, clear, your subject or modifies your subject, clear, is hobby, clear, that is called your subject complement. Here gerund phrase, this is gerund, clear, this is object of, clear, gerund. So here this is your gerund phrase, but your gerund phrase is functioning as a subject complement because it is not providing you additional information, but it is simply renaming your subject. Let me cite another example for your better understanding. That is, my job is teaching the students. Now again, renaming, teaching the students. Now look, my job is, what is my job? Clear? Teaching others or teaching students. If I say vice versa, teaching the students is my job. Again, this gerund phrase is functioning as a subject complement because it is renaming my subject. That is my job. There is one thing that we are left with, that most of the student, clear, they ask me that, sir, what is the difference and how would we be able to discern and discriminate the difference between participle phrase or a gerund phrase? This is very important. Participle phrase or participle phrase or gerund phrase. Most of the students, they have asked me, clear, that's how, and rather they are of the opinion, or they opine that we are confused with how to discriminate and how to point out and how to discriminate and discern the difference of the disparity between the participle and a gerund phrase. So there is a very basic difference between gerund phrase or a participle phrase. Although both gerund phrase and participle phrase both starts with a gerund, starts with V1 plus ing. Your participle phrase and your gerund phrase, when we go after the formation, both are same formation wise. But how you can look at and you can spot out that the difference, okay, that exists. So that is that your participle phrase, keep it in mind, your participle phrase does the function of an adjective in a sentence. Participle phrase does the function of an adjective, always, always, always. Your present participle phrase does the function of an adjective in a sentence. Number 2, gerund phrase, it does the function of a noun in a sentence. Your participle phrase, although both phrases start with V1 plus ing. Okay, I'm going to cite an example. Now look, if I cite an example, eating loudly. Eating loudly is not a good habit. Now, you can see eating V1 plus ing, clear? Okay, eating loudly is not a good habit. If I ask a question of what is, I've told you earlier many times that you can find out your gerund phrase or your gerund within a sentence by asking a question of what to your verb. Is not a good habit. What is not a good habit? Clear? Eating loudly. It's loudly is your modifier. As I told you that sometimes your gerund phrase is a combination of gerund and modifier, sometimes gerund and object. Here we have gerund, eating, clear, we are talking about, and it is functioning as a subject. So this is your gerund, clear? Eating loudly, gerund and the modifier, but it is functioning as a subject of the sentence. It is functioning as a subject of the sentence, and keep it in mind, your adjective can never be a subject of your sentence. So this is functioning as a noun in a sentence. What is not a good habit? Clear? Eating loudly. We are talking about something. And as I told you that noun is something we talk about. Clear? Subject is something we talk about. Clear? Doer of an action. This is the for one definition. And the second definition is your subject is something or someone we talk about. Is not a good habit. What is not a good habit? Eating loudly. So that gerund phrase, clear, is functioning as a noun of the sentence, rather subject of the sentence. This is a gerund phrase. Let me give you another example, that participle. The guy clear, eating loudly is disliked. So, now look, here the guy, which guy? Eating loudly. Now here gerund phrase, again gerund plus your clear modifier. Eating, that is your gerund, V1 plus ing, and loudly, clear, that is a modifier. But here this gerund phrase is telling you something about your noun, that is a guy. Clear? So the guy, which guy? Eating loudly. This gerund phrase is functioning as clear. The function as an adjective in a sentence because it is providing you additional information about your noun. Clear? So it's very easy to find out the difference or disparity that exists between gerund or participle phrase, that your participle phrase always functions as an adjective. Clear? And your gerund phrase functions as a noun in a sentence. So guys, that's enough for today. I hope that I would have been at success to make you understand the concept and the disparity that existed between gerund and participle phrase. Inshallah, I shall be very soon. Soon I shall be with you with a new, interesting, and attention-grabbing video. Till then, bye bye. Please don't forget to click subscribe button and hit the bell icon. See you. Bye.